Hello, everybody. Good to see you all. It's Mr. Lion here. Today I'm going to talk to you about shaker instruments. We're going to do some listening, and hopefully you'll be able to make your own. So I want to do this because a lot of you probably have some of these hanging around today. If not, no worries. You can use anything that has a lid, any sort of cup with a lid, or you can even make a lid on top of something, put something over it with a rubber band. But this makes it very easy, and it's a nice round shape. So we actually do use egg shakers in percussion a lot. They're very easy to carry around and easy to hold and play. But the most common shaker instrument that you probably know is the maraca. Now what I have here is what I'm pretty sure was the first maraca ever. All right, not this actual one, but this is just a gourd that has dried. My family got it at a farm last fall, and it dried without rotting. It got hard, and inside are the seeds. So let me see if this makes a shaking sound. All right, so that's nature's maraca right there, handle built right in. So that's one of the simplest shaker instruments that you can have, is just find it out in nature. I bet you can find something if the weather gets nicer like it was on Sunday than it is right now. I bet you can find something out there that will make a sound if you shake it. Here's another one, smaller, but again, this is just a gourd, like a pumpkin, that was from a farm. So they're very light, and inside the seeds are a little bit soft. So every type of shaker has a different sound, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So I'm going to play some of my shakers here. Let's see if I can zoom down. I have a whole setup here, and I'm going to play them. And there's a sheet, hopefully you see that in the link, that'll help you listen. And you can mark down how you hear each sound to help you think about what's inside and how they all sound different. So some of the things that make shakers sound different are the amount of filling, the weight of the filling, is it heavy or light? The size of the filling, is it really small, like sand, or is it really big, like rocks? And how hard it is. Okay, are they sort of bouncy things? Is it rubber? Or is it very hard like metal? Okay, so let me demonstrate now, and you can use the chart to fill out what you think. And you can say medium or in between if you'd like. I just tried to make it simple. And then see if you can make a guess. After I do them all, I'll open them all up and show you what's inside. And then hopefully you can make your own and listen to some music. Play along to some music. Okay. Here's example number 1. This is the green shaker. Have a listen. See how it sounds to you. You can pause if you need more time to write, but I'm going to keep moving on. The orange one next. Hopefully you can at least hear how they're different. It might be hard to describe exactly how. This difference, by the way, has a fancy word in music. We call it timbre or timbre, as an old teacher of mine used to say. Timbre. It's a French word, and it means the color of the sound. Okay, next, red. Does this one sound different? Does it have a different color to your ear? You'll notice there's different ways to shake. You can go longwise. You can go across the short way. You can spin it. Okay, you can go up and down. All sorts of ways. But generally, you don't want to cover it completely because that will muffle the sound. But maybe that's what you want. Hold it with your fingertips usually. Next up is the yellow one. Ooh, that one, if I spin it in a circular way along the long side of the egg, it's a pretty interesting sound. You might see why when I open it up. Okay, number 5. This one is green and orange. And now, this one is red and yellow, and it is not empty. You might need to wear headphones to hear it. And then the last one is green and yellow, number 7. All right, so again, that difference to your ear is called tone color or timbre, and we use lots of words to describe that. We can say it sounds dark. This one kind of sounds dark to me. Or bright. This one sounds bright to me. Okay, but you can use other words like rough or smooth or high or low, loud and soft to describe. Okay. You'll notice while I was playing, I tried to demonstrate a few techniques. Now you can just do a shake. You can try doing it loud to soft, fast and slow. But the best thing to do is to try to keep the beat. So with a simple movement of your arm, sort of make a C shape in the air. Let's see if I can do it this way. See, like that. Get a beat up here and down here. Okay, so you can find the beat of the music. Or you can do double time. All right, but you'll have fun with that after you're done with this video, and maybe you'll make your own. Let's open them up now and see what's inside. Okay, so first, the green one. Let's see. Oh. This one is rice. Okay, rice is pretty light. There's a lot of grains in there. Now, when you make your own, make sure you have permission from your parents, especially if you're going to use anything that's food. I happen to have a lot of old rice that I actually bought for this purpose years ago. But we don't want to use up food if it's not extra, right? If we're going to need to eat it. So the green one was rice. Probably pretty light, pretty small. The second one, orange. This one is unpopped popcorn. Sounds very different from popped popcorn. Okay, so they're pretty round. They're egg-shaped themselves, and they're hard, but a little bit bigger than rice, so you can hear the difference. Third one, red. Kind of muffled sounding to me. Let's see. Ooh. Anyone know what these are? These are lentils. They're a type of dried beans. Okay, larger beans would sound very different, but lentils or split peas are some common fillings for egg shakers. Again, very nutritious food. So don't waste that until you ask your parents if you can use food ingredients. All right, the yellow one. Now, this is the one I was able to get a continuous sound going around, and that's because we have some circular items in here, and they're metal. Let's see. They're dimes. So I think there's 10 dimes in here. They already sound very big and loud, so I would think any other coin would sound bigger, unless maybe you have a coin from another country that's even smaller. But the dime is our smallest coin in weight, right? The penny is actually bigger, and the nickel. All right, the fifth one, green and orange. Very soft. I like this one a lot. This one is uncooked quinoa. Very small grains. I like quinoa a lot. Very healthy. Bonus points if you can spell quinoa. All right. So very soft. I didn't make one with sand, but you might want to make one with sand. You might get a similar sound, although quinoa is even lighter. I like that a lot. All right. Now this one, you may not have been able to hear it, but let's see. Red and yellow. This one is little pom-poms. Very small, soft pom-poms. All right, so I don't think they were quite heavy enough to hear, but I could hear it here in person. So maybe you could find something very soft, maybe a little less soft than this, but maybe putting less in there would get you a different sound. So lots of things to experiment with as you make yours. You'll notice at the bottom of the chart, I left 3 rows blank. You can maybe make 3 that are contrasting with each other, 3 that sound different. And you can add them there, or more than that, or just make one. But let's see, I have one more here, the green and yellow. You might have these sitting around too. These are jelly beans, although they are the starburst size, which are smaller. It's kind of like Jelly Bellies. The bigger size, which I do like to eat occasionally, they'd have a different sound. But these are pretty hard. Not quite as hard as some other things like the popcorn, but they're hard and they're heavy and they're big. So you get a pretty dark and dull and loud sound from them. All right, so those are the demonstrations of 7 that I created to show you. Hopefully you were able to listen to them and think about them and maybe even write down your thoughts on the sheet. You could print it or you can make your own editable copy. Should have told you that earlier. Anyway, what's important is you're thinking about the sounds as you listen. And again, the difference is tone color, because you can't hear the actual color, right? This one doesn't sound yellow. This one doesn't sound green and orange. The tone color, we have to use words to approximate it. Approximate the sounds that we hear. All right, so that's shakers. Maybe you can make your own and share it with me on the Flipgrid, which you'll find on the music choice board. Maybe you'll find some shakers out in nature that you can share with me. Find a good song with a beat, maybe even with the word shake in it, or something with a maraca. I like to find some Cuban or Latin music for some good shaking songs. And go ahead and shake. What's great about these shakers, you can shake and dance at the same time. Once again, if you don't have eggs, you can use anything with a lid. Okay? Maybe a bottle, an empty bottle that had maybe some medicine in it, or they don't really make film canisters anymore, do they? any sort of cup with a lid, or make your own lid on top of that. Ask your parents for help. Ask your parents before you use any food items, and have fun shaking. Bye, everybody. See you on Thursday.